Hey, it's a slasher movie that finally tells the story of my people, Floridians. This movie's actually pretty fun. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it that much, but it's a good time. Something you can kind of shut your brain off and relax as a couple of idiots get eaten by gators. The story takes place in the fictional town of Bright Rock, Florida, with our heroine Haley showing a complete disregard for the forthcoming danger of Hurricane Wendy.
Sorry, late night, early practice.
They're having practice during a hurricane.
With more than 1 million people now facing mandatory evacuation orders.
And they said it was gonna miss us.
Don't you get alerts when you're...
Now that's how you know this is an authentic Florida movie. Haley is in a feud with her father Dave because he would push his daughter too hard in coaching her swimming, which ended up creating a rift in their relationship. However, with a Category 5 hurricane on the way, Haley puts her differences aside to find Dave and find out why he's not answering his phone. After finding her father passed out in the house crawl space, she soon discovers what the problem is. Now the two of them have to work together to escape the house with their lives. Our main antagonist, the Gator, shows up about 20 minutes into the movie, which isn't super quick, but it's not too bad either. The earlier parts drag their feet a little bit, but it's mainly to demonstrate how desperate Haley feels about finding her dad in the storm. Once the Gator does come into play, then the movie becomes your typical monster horror film. Our two heroes slowly come up with plans to escape their predicament, moving up into the house as the crawl space gets flooded, but having a really hard time throughout the whole movie. It's really nothing you haven't seen before. Overall, it's a pretty good movie because it doesn't waste the viewer's time. The focus is on escaping the gators, as well as the occasional bystander getting killed. Haley and Dave have their heart-to-heart now and then, but it rarely lasts very long. Not that the movie itself lasts for very long either. It clocks in at just under an hour and a half. Do keep that in mind. If you're gonna buy or rent this movie, then you might feel cheapened out by the extremely short runtime. However, the acting and the set design are certainly enjoyable. The characters are scared out of their minds, but they still manage to stay humorous. Thankfully, it's not too over the top. It's just enough to bring a light chuckle alongside the moments of tension.
Dad, keep talking to me.
How's your split and 100 free?
Really?
You asked me to talk. I already talked about the weather.
Crawl strikes just the right balance. It doesn't take itself too seriously or too lighthearted. The set designs on display are pretty impressive too. I'm sure a lot of this is CGI, like the storm clouds and everything else in the background. But the movie does a good job at getting the viewer to know this little cul-de-sac, and they get a lot of use out of wrecking that house. My only real big complaint with this movie is that it can get pretty stupid in regards to the gator attacks, and this is going to lead to some significant spoilers. If you want to avoid them, then go to about 5:25 in the video to skip ahead. So, starting off with the less ridiculous stuff, Haley gets beat up throughout the whole movie. I mean, it's pretty bad, but she practically just shrugs it off. I don't know, I've never been attacked by a gator, but I don't think you're gonna just walk it off if a gator chomps down on your leg. I guess we can chalk this up to adrenaline, but it's hardly the only time it happens in the movie. She even gets caught in the infamous gator death roll. Like, dude, her arm is in there. And, she lives. Because, of course she does. Well, at least it doesn't get any stupider than that, right?
You need to swim. You got this! You're faster than they are! What are you? Swim!
Oh hell no, and she actually does outswim the gators too. You've gotta be kidding me. But nothing tops this scene. Haley locks herself in a bathroom tub, which the gator cannot break through. Then, in an absolute genius move, she manages to lure the gator inside and then parkour her way out, trapping the gator within. Ah, I see what's happening here. They didn't bother to get hurricane-grade windows, but that sliding glass door for the tub is absolutely secure. Give me a break. This is kind of a big deal because the movie isn't like this at first. It starts off very grounded and can be easily seen as a legitimate thriller. I mean, the gators are obviously fake, but it's not like the movie doesn't try, and the actors do a pretty good job at fending off computer-animated animals. But little by little, a few too many liberties keep slipping by, and the later half of the movie is just way too goofy to take seriously. I do greatly appreciate a simple story with a small cast. You just don't see this kind of thing often enough, especially not this well done. And every once in a while, it's nice to have a movie that's easy to grasp. However, because of that, it's not really anything special either. And when you add on to that the short runtime, I'm not going to give this movie a ton of praise for basically playing it safe. While the movie does a good job with its limited setting, it also needs to be said that this crawl space accounts for pretty much half the whole movie. And I gotta mention again that the second half of the movie gets pretty bonkers. Now that sounds like a lot of negatives, but it's really not that bad. It's fun to watch, but without being nearly as idiotic as Sharknado, for example. If you want a monster movie thriller that's decent and short, then check this one out. Thanks for watching my review on Crawl.